Hello, I am Lisa J. Stocks here for your Sunday Stock Talk episode and update for the week. Let me go back to the comments. Hi, Tim. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. So, I don't really have a plan on what I'm going to talk about today, but this is my normal live stream time slot. So, I want to make sure to always jump on and let me know if you guys have any questions because it mostly might be Q&A today. So I guess a few things. I did post the earnings calendar to the community wall, which I usually do, and some upcoming earnings that you might want to keep an eye on. I know the only one I was most interested in was I think Costco, but and Broadcom and Oracle. So check that out if you're interested in that. And tonight on 60 Minutes, Ripple CEO is going to be on. I had seen some rumors that that interview wasn't going to air, and people were speculating that it's kind of tied to the Ripple still being having struggles, and that's XRP if I'm going back and forth with what I'm calling it. But anyways, check out that interview if that is something that you are interested in finding out more about where he's at. And XRP, if you didn't know, is currently the fourth largest cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, guys, what were you doing last week? Was it Wednesday night? I think. Yeah, it was Wednesday night when Bitcoin hit 100,000 for the first time. Did you think it was going to be coming sooner? I didn't think it was going to come until next month when it was around election time. But yeah, as we were coming towards the end of November, I could see that it was going to be coming up faster than what I originally had thought. So anyways, I don't know where Prez is this week. I did reach out to him and I did double check because there's been times when I forgot to put the StreamYard link in our correspondence, but I know it wasn't me this time around. So guys, feel free to drop any comments that you have in the chat. But I guess I'm just going to talk a little bit about if you watch any of my recent videos, I think I've been saying this over and over, and I just don't want anyone to ever feel like it's too late to get started investing because Amazon, Tesla, the S&P 500 as a whole, just so many different investments are hitting all-time highs. And that doesn't mean that there's still not room to grow, especially when it comes to investing into an index. So never mind those blue chip stocks, the Mag 7 stocks. There still could be room to grow there. It may not be as fast as it's been in the past, but I think that I still want to concentrate on I still am concentrating on the brands that I know and the investments that I've been working on over the last few years. They might seem boring and old-fashioned, but yeah, I'm okay with having Microsoft and Nvidia and well, maybe not Nvidia. I think that might be the exciting one, but the Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, even like Netflix and Meta. People might think, I get called boring for having those in my portfolio, but they have grown for me substantially. My Tesla and my Amazon were up over 70% this week. I've been investing into them for a few years. If you want to go another direction that you think has more growth, that's up to you. But I'm okay with incorporating those the name, those type of things. Google, that's another one of them, Tim. Definitely. I am going to continue to incorporate those into my portfolio. Now, I don't have Broadcom in my portfolio, but I have added another semiconductor investment. But with that, I also mix in my VTI or VOO or FXAIX over at Fidelity. But don't feel like things are at all-time high. You could take on the attitude of, well, I'm not going to get into Bitcoin at 60,000 because, the next person got into it at 40 or even 16, but now it's 100,000. So if you got in at 60, there was still room to grow. And who knows where it can go in the future. I'm hoping for the days of 200,000 and 250,000 when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm glad to see Ethereum is back up to 4,000, but everybody has a different starting point. My, all of us in here, if we all have Amazon in our portfolio, I'm sure all of us cannot say that we are up 70%. And I'm sure there are some people in here who are up even more than I am, percentage wise. But we all have a different path in our investing. I've talked to a few people that have been investing into Apple from decades ago. So, you can't think that it's too late for you to get started with certain investments. And it's definitely never going to be too late when it comes to an index fund. So that's something I want to touch on because I feel like I say it so much in my videos that, such and such hit an all-time high. I don't want anyone to be turned off to feeling like it's not the right time to invest. And another thing, I just put out a little video last night about getting started on a low budget. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Because I try to keep my regular videos kind of short and to the point, but just to give you a little bit of a backstory while I have time. So I haven't led the kind of traditional life because I think I am a pretty, I don't want to say old fashioned, but the traditional way that I would have ideally liked life to have gone would be, you finish high school, you go to college, you start a career, you get married, you buy a house, you have a baby, and you have the nest and all the stability and all of the things. But it didn't happen that way. So when I say that I've been through it and I understand the struggles, I had my first daughter when I was in high school. I started college. I went to college for about a year. Then I dropped out. I was working full time when I was a teenager, about 19. So then now I'm a mom. I'm working full time. I'm going to college little by little. Didn't finish college till I was nearly 30 years old. So with that, my earnings were not that much because I was not in a role that was going to be able to command any high salary. So I know how it is to work for $8 an hour, $10 an hour. I went through those stages and there was one company I worked at for a long time and I got paid twice a month. And not every other week, twice a month. There is a difference because when the 31st ends, when the month is like the 31st ends like on a Tuesday, you feel the pain trying to get to that last day of the month. But anyways, when I was working at that job, I had an apartment and my rent was $525. And I'll tell you, my whole one of my paychecks was just like enough to pay the rent. And then, the other paycheck pretty much had to do everything else that there was. And so I just say all that to say that I know how it is to make ends meet. It's hard. And even during those times, I was contributing something to my 401k at the company that I was working at. So it was a percentage and, the percentage is based off of your earnings. So it wasn't anything substantial, but I'm still glad that even in the lean years, as I call them in my 20s, that I was contributing something and didn't have to let that entire decade go without getting started with focusing on building my retirement. And then once I graduated and um, started, working full time, actually, obviously, I was always working full time. But once I graduated and I stayed with the same company. I got a staff accountant role. That was my first role that I would say I felt like I'm starting my career. And then I remember at the company I was working at, I had been there for many years already. Um, at that time, I had probably been there like 11 years before I feel like I started my career. So I think I got a $7,000 raise in one shot. And they had to go and, get all these paperwork signed off and stuff on me for me to get the increase and move into the role. And it was just a really late start to my life to really feeling like I'm earning a, a reasonable amount for an adult. But anyways, that was the journey. And I'm telling this story just so that you know that I've been there. And I now, after that point, was able to contribute more substantially to savings and investing and get out of debt and, buy a second property in time. But you have to not let the time pass and not do anything. So the video that I did last night was focused on investing even if you are on a low budget. And with technology and advancements and the conveniences that we have today, another thing that people sometimes criticize my channel or me for, and I'm not trying to feed into it, but when I talk about investing $10 a day and $5 a day, uh, I those are additional investments that I do. Those are outside of my 401k. So with my 401k, I send a more substantial percentage. Hopefully, I'm encouraging you to be allocating 10 to 15%, as much as you can, in order to be building up your retirement account, especially if you're older or in a situation like I was describing how I wasn't able to contribute more substantially until I was in my 30s. So no matter what your budget, no matter what your age, no matter, what the circumstances are, I encourage you to just get consistent, dig into your budget, make sure that you're creating a budget. If you're going to be moving or something's going to be changing, you're going to be buying a car or something like that, when you're working on the budget, don't get yourself into a situation where all of your money is going to be going to those expenses. You might have to rethink things and say, can I maybe get a car that's a little older? Because what I'm trying to say is, don't have your budget extended all into the housing and the travel and the car insurance. And then then there is nothing. Then you're saying to me, Lisa, I wish. I enjoy your channel. I hear what you're saying, but I can't invest because I can't. I don't have anything left to invest. So I don't know how my son-in-law is calling me right now. Doesn't everyone know that Lisa's live at 3 o'clock on Sundays on Eastern Standard Time by now? I don't know. But hopefully it kicks in with him and he knows. I hope he's not trying to tell me anything about the live. Is everything okay with the live, guys? Because I just ignored his call. But what I was talking about was, even with a tight budget, to invest what you have. Someone actually left me a comment, and I hope she doesn't see this and take it the wrong way. But in my video, I'm saying get your money invested. Don't um, Get your money invested. Don't hold on to it. Don't wait. Don't try to sit here building up $1,000. Now I have $1,000. Now let me go and set up the account. If you have $50, set up the account, and why not invest that $50 and keep on investing 20 or 50 or whatever amount you have until you build up the $1,000 portfolio, because you're just losing time of being uninvested while the markets are on fire, while everything that I mentioned already it has been growing substantially. um I don't talk much about crypto. I don't have a huge crypto portfolio, but whether it's I keep more of a balance. I keep a more of a balance of higher into the ETFs than my chosen individual stocks, and then crypto, and then of course keeping cash for my continued investing and options trading or regular trades that I want to work on. But me personally, I don't think that that's the way to go, to hold on to cash when it could be invested. And with investing at Fidelity, you can invest as little as $1 at a time. At On MooMoo and Webull and Public, I can invest $5. So it's not a substantial amount. And that's not all that I want you to be investing, but it's a start and it's something. And especially if you do want to have investments that you can tap into before retirement, I think it's a good way to go about it. And for my daughter too, we usually do about $50 per month into her portfolio. And her portfolio now it's over $6,000 for a teenager. I mean, I think that's great. I don't know at what age I had an investment portfolio of $6,000. I was probably well into my 20s before it got there. Um, with the little bit that I was contributing back then, and not being mindful of what I was even invested into at that time. But let me take a look at the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. So there's an ETF called MAG-S that consists of the MAG 7. Oh, wow. I have to take a look at that. I've never heard, I'm not familiar with it. CG, are you still here? What's the expense ratio on that ETF? Tim is not into crypto. I'm not big into crypto, but I'm glad that I have a little bit, especially, I mean, I'm not holding any small random coins. If I do dabble into any Floki or Doge or anything like that, it's going to be for a trade. I know, Tim, you definitely trade. Okay, pipeline. I don't know where Prez is, pipeline, but thanks for tuning in. You go find Prez for me and send them over here. Uh, I don't know. Okay, so Michael Warren is asking, do I track my net worth or listen to David Ramsey? I do listen to David Ramsey's show sometimes. And I am familiar with his steps and things like that. I mean, I like him, not a huge fan. There are some things that uh he believes in that I don't agree with. And do I track my net worth? Yes, I do track my net worth, but I don't I've never done a video like giving my entire net worth on YouTube. I actually just updated my net worth maybe about 2 weeks ago. And one of the nicest things that I discovered as I was doing my update is I am up over $400,000 on the value of two particular properties that I was, updating in the tracker. So that has been great. And knowing, I mean, one of the houses I bought like 20 years ago, but one I just bought a few years ago. And I mean, in the pandemic, when I say a few years, and just seeing how much the value has grown is great. And um my retirement accounts, all of the accounts, the way that the market has been over the last few weeks, That's another thing that I think I've said and heard so many people say, like, you should be the richest you've ever been if you are in good investments, because really, I mean, some have had a little bit of a pullback, but certain investments like Tesla, and just being driven by all the other Mag 7, has just pulled up the economy so much. If you are into crypto, obviously, Bitcoin has really thrived. Ethereum, not so much, but even that has gotten back up to 4,000. It hadn't been at 4,000 since I think back in March, and it just hit it again within the last few days. So it's starting to turn around too, and that's something that I'm holding long term. Crypto scammers. I don't know what your I don't know of how someone would scam me. I mean, I know what platforms or brokerage companies I'm using, and obviously I'm not talking to anyone, or if someone's trying to reach out to me, I'm definitely not putting my money on any new platforms that I'm not familiar with. And I I would you guys, if you've been here before and you know what I shared, you know what platforms I use. I do share my links. If you want to support the channel, you can use my investment links, but I'm not putting any money on anything obscure. I do have a Coinbase account. Some of my other cryptos, I'm doing on Webull Pay. Webull has like two branches. They have the regular Webull account, and then they have a separate piece for their crypto, and they've been adding coins. They actually added two new ones recently. So I know they added Pepe and something a few weeks ago, and they added two more coins more recently. So I mean, if it's H bar, base definitely XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Those are the three highest ones right now. So because I'm more familiar with it, I've been using that. I've been using We Will Pay for my crypto before I have to resort to going over to Coinbase and funding that and navigating that site, because I'm not as familiar with it. Pipeline, yes, you are not 22 minutes late. You've been here. So I already saw a comment from you. But all right, so let me take a look and see if there's any other, and guys, so know that I would never be talking about anything, or I don't think there's any Lisa scammers out there. So, but just know, if there is anything that doesn't ever seem right, to reach out to me. To confirm, Lisa, I'm going to take profit on my VOO and complete the 100 shares of Apple and put the rest back into SPLG. Okay. So that's something I've been touching on too, because I feel like I'm using this live today to talk about criticisms that I get about my boring portfolio and this and that. Another thing that I often get the question of is, Lisa, why do you invest into VOO instead of SPLG? And I've said this before, the only reason is because I had not discovered it before I started to invest into VOO. So both of those ETFs track the S&P 500. They're just under two different brokerage companies. Um, but and the expense ratio of SPLG is 0.02 versus 0.03. So I haven't been so inclined yet to actually, sell anything and transition, because the expense ratios are that close together. Another plus, or another perk that people find about SPLG, is that the share price is $71 versus VOO is, let's see, VOO is $558 a share. So obviously with that, you're going to build up your share size quicker if that's something that motivates you and you like seeing in your portfolio. Henry, thank you for tuning in. Let me see if there's any questions. Guys, feel free to drop any questions. I was not prepared with anything, I usually have something prepared for Prez and I to do together. And so me being here by myself, I had to just get my head quickly around trying to have a conversation by myself. But feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat. Do you guys track your net worth? Do you guys take the time to do you have a spreadsheet, a book, whatever, to really to know? Do you go through every once in a while? I don't know how often. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put a number on it, but do you go through and list, the homes, your all of your investment accounts, savings, the value of your car? Do you guys take the time every so often to update your net worth and see where you're at? And, obviously not just the value of the home, how much you owe versus the current value, the assets and the liabilities, and really get a true breakdown of where you're at. Oh, you track your net worth on Credit Karma? Yeah, I'm pretty old. I'm pretty basic with just using spreadsheets and just doing these things myself. Even for my business, I don't have QuickBooks or anything to track. But it's not an issue for me right now. It's not like I have anything that substantial, and I'm able to work with my accountant the way that I do it. But I pretty much do everything manually, but I'm able to put something together in order to let her know. And I haven't got any complaints from her, so I must be doing an okay job. But I wear the hat of bookkeeper when it comes to dealing with my properties and paying the plumber and the lawn guy and the rents and all of that. I handle that part of it. And it's funny. I'm working with a new accountant now. She's actually female, but I had a male accountant until a couple of years ago. And he flat out told me, he's like, of all my clients that have real estate, I'm the most knowledgeable female that he's ever come across when it comes to, dealing with the business and relaying all the information to him. So, and I also went to an event where it was an event of different agencies that are looking for properties, connecting with property managers and for different, and because I'm open to different things. I haven't really had anything that I was interested in doing for Airbnb, but I'm open to that. Will be a lot of hassle with the cleaning and turnover and furnishing and stuff, but I am open to it. But with this particular event that I went to, it was agencies looking for that might be having clients that are like in a domestic abuse situation, or a veteran that needs somewhere to stay, or different type of circumstances. So I went to the event to find out what it was all about. And when I went to sign in for that event too, they were like, "Oh, you're the first female female to come and sign in." It's like kind of like, wow. um you know it just it makes me feel weird when I'm in certain places. Like, even when you go to the school is another thing. This is not finance related, but even when you go to the school and it's two parents that come for the parent teacher meeting, it's like you could see in the teacher's face, like, wow, like both of you can make the time to come in here. So, but I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. Thanks for the thumbs up. So let me check on that, guys. So have you guys tapped the screen and given this live a thumbs up today? I'm here by myself. I'm not sure what happened with Prez. He did not let me know that he couldn't make it today, but hopefully he is well. So guys, let me know if you have any questions. And let me see. What was I working off of here? Okay, so guys, I think I am just going to talk a little bit about beginner investment options if no one else has any questions or things that they want to chat about. So, I did a video last night talking about investing on a low budget. Another point that I made in that video is that even if you're just getting started, you don't really even understand investing. You only have $100, you know, you can get started with a basic index fund or ETF, a basket of stocks with a low expense ratio, nothing complicated, but I don't want anyone to wait. After, in time, obviously, I want you to do your research. I want you to have an understanding if you're interested. If you are not, you can just stay with just keep on investing into that index fund. You don't have to get into anything fancy and no, do trading or options or any of that. You can just week after week, month after month, how every payday, however you want to set it up, you can just focus on building up your position into a fund like SPLG, for example, that I think Tim mentioned. And that could be your entire investing journey. You don't have to feel like I have to wait to figure it out. I think that is a good first step for anyone to get started in investing. But and I think that right now with the economy the way it's been, I'm okay with having a large position into US stocks, into the stock market. I'm not big on trying to mix in international and bonds but if that's the balance that you want to have, go for it. But, depending on your age and your circumstances, do your research. But even while you're doing your research, I think there's no reason why you can't get started with an index fund that gives you exposure to the S&P 500. I think that's something once if you want to change over to something different, that's something that you can still hold on to, get your quarterly dividends. It'll be building up from that too, but you can incorporate that in your portfolio and there's no reason to wait any longer if you're not investing. Okay, so I see a question here. Do I recommend putting your emergency fund in a brokerage account or in a savings account? I do both. I have a high yield savings account, but I am currently also carrying a substantial amount in my brokerage account. And I think the only difference for me, and I think the only consideration is the APY. So wherever you're getting the best APY and you can access that money, then I don't think it really makes a difference. Um, I hope that answers the question. So I know I can get the money out of my brokerage account. That all of my interest rates are coming down because Jerome Powell is cutting those rates. But um, that's my only thing. It's if it's money that I think potentially will be invested, I keep it in my brokerage account because the APY it's similar to what I'm getting at my savings anyways. So on Webull right now, I'm getting 4.0% as opposed to, let's see, trying to sign into something, looking at my Face ID. Um, but it's 3.9 APY on my regular Discover savings. So very close. Uh, so it's just a matter of the convenience and what you're comfortable with. But I would keep it in the SP. Yeah, I have that at Fidelity also. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that as long as you can access it when you need to and not have it tied up. If it's in a regular, account where you can pull it out. Obviously, I'm not going to put it into my IRA or, where I cannot access it. But um, that APY is probably around the same. So it makes sense to me. As long as it's not at Bank of America at 0.01, I think you seem to be on track with the Fidelity account and what they offer. Let me see if there's any other questions. Which Fidelity fund do you invest in? Yes, FXAIX. Um, that's what I've been doing. So FXAIX uh, is a fund. It's only at Fidelity, and it has an expense ratio of 0.015. So even lower than the SPLG and the VOO that we've also mentioned today that also track the S&P 500. I have all of my retirement accounts and my daughter's accounts at Fidelity. It is a company that I assume and I plan on using, and I don't plan on going to another brokerage company. So I was okay with going with FXAIX because one thing about it, I believe it's not transferable to another brokerage account, but that wasn't a concern for me because I plan on staying there. So I don't know if you're still here, Robert. Robert, you're saying hello to Prez, and Prez wasn't here today? No, he's not just off screen. He's not here. Okay, so it's my Nightbot is telling me it's station break time. So has everyone hit that like button? Are you subscribed to the channel? Are you new here? Are you ready to open a new brokerage account? If you are, make sure to use my referral links. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, I have channel membership, so check that out. Yes, I see Tim is also a fan of Fidelity. Yeah, really, I kind of lucked out because the last two companies that I worked for both used Fidelity. So with that, when I got laid off from the previous job, my money went into an IRA at Fidelity, and then I started the new company, and then I left them all separate so I can see all of them, but I moved. I had Empowerment also, so I wound up closing my Empowerment account and bringing it over to Fidelity so I can have everything there because I was having a better experience, and I find that their funds and their customer service and just everything. And also, actually, there is a physical branch like one town away from me, so everything about them just seemed to be a better fit for my needs. And I don't even really, I've done everything concerning my daughter's accounts. I've done everything remotely. I never even went into the office concerning her accounts. I did just set up a new business brokerage account. So that's something new that I'm adding to the mix because with my real estate business, things have kind of been at a standstill, been outbid constantly, and the high interest rates and things have not progressed as quickly as I thought they would have. And I wish I had done it sooner with getting some of that money invested, but I didn't. And now I just have to move forward with that. And so I'm working on setting up some investments related to that. Okay, guys, I'm trying to get used to Fidelity trading platform. I want to swing trade using my HSA and Roth IRA. I've never done any trades on Fidelity. I did recently get in contact with them to add uh, options trading to one of my IRAs because I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with trading with Ashley. She has me kind of with doing the selling of options when you have the 100 shares. She has me interested in learning how to do that. And because my portfolios that I'm doing on the other platforms, I don't have 100 shares on anything right now other than realty income. So I figured I would add that option. I needed to do the application or get the upgrade to it on Fidelity. So I have it in place. And also I'm a person that just likes to have room to grow and be ready in case I want to do something. So that's another reason why I did it. So, but yeah, I haven't done any trades on there. I haven't done any options trades on MooMoo or Public either. And those are two other accounts that I've been using for some time. And I said that I wanted to learn how to use MooMoo for options because they have the trailing stop loss. I don't know if you've ever used that for that feature over there, Tim. But I've been doing any options trades that I've done recently have been on Webull, and that's where just because that's where I started off doing it, and I'm most familiar. But I am the stop loss. I am the trailing stop loss. I have to get in there and get in and raise it on my own and be watching it and mindful of it. Oh, Tim, you are familiar with her? I got to meet her when, I went to, Texas for Vid Summit earlier this year. I did a short video with her. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but yeah, she does make it look easy. She does. And she has a new, Discord. I'm thinking about maybe joining it, but I need to be ready. It's for the new one is gonna be more for beginners, but I am definitely interested in it. But still, when I was talking to her in person when I met her, I know she didn't know me or my budget, and she gave me a nice modest example. I think it was like, uh, it might have been it I'm not sure what the price of Palantir was at the time. It might have been Palantir or SoFi. She used a nice modest example, um, in trying to talk to me about, how I could have 100 shares of something. But yeah, when she does her trades, it might be 100 shares of Lululemon or something that's over $200. So it could be 44,000, 60,000 that she's doing. So I've never done anything that substantial yet. But if I was, it would probably have to be at Fidelity right now because that's where those type of numbers would be available to me. So you trade options on Robinhood and E-Trade. I keep hearing people say that Robinhood stop loss is an issue, but it must be working well for you. I don't have an account on E-Trade. Okay, just checking through the comments. So guys, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel if you like what you hear. I only talk about investing, finance, credit cards, investing for your children, evaluating your retirement accounts and things like that over here. So nothing else. EVGO covered calls, high volume last week until expiration. Not familiar with did you mean to say AV? AV or EV? There is an EVGO, but I'm not familiar with it. Did you mean Broadcom? But anyways, no. Oh, you meant EV. Okay. I'm taking a look at Broadcom, which they have their earnings coming up this week, and they ended the week up 5.31%. So I wonder what their earnings are going to be looking like. Contracts are a month apart, insane premiums. Okay. Hot boy Danny, thanks for tuning in and sharing and chatting. So Trade Station. What is your comment about the one? Hello, Stay Stace. Thanks for tuning in. So, guys, do you have any questions? Let me know in the chat. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to be doing a show alone, but wanted to pop on because I've been trying to stay consistent with my Sunday live stream. It's the one day a week that I try to always be on a live. So guys, what do you have any goals for 2025? Is everyone in the chat investing on your own through your job for retirement? Does everybody have retirement? That is the one that I think we should all have first, give priority first and foremost. Does everyone have money set aside for retirement? Yes, yes, yes. I love to see it. Love to see it. So, single parent fire, I was thinking about you, I think. I was, I'm interested in hearing your journey as you get started with, options trading. Um, in one of her recent videos, she was saying that she was going to, uh, get started with options trading, and the first option she was gonna do was on, I think, Joby, a airline company, and I through my what it's not Joby, I'm saying it wrong, but through my comments to you, I'm gonna talk to you a little through the live. I was hoping that you started with something smaller, just something like something that you did for like an hour or so, just to get a feel for an options trade and how to navigate the app and put on a stop loss and, have a plan. Maybe do that a couple of times with the SPY or a QQQ because I just I don't want you to lose money, and I want you to be knowledgeable and have a full plan when you get into it. And I hope you understood the what I was trying to say through my comments to you. And thank you for tuning in. And I was at someone's brunch today. I stopped by um to have brunch with a friend. She just turned 50 and she's actually not feeling well. She had a fall and hurt herself. Bad timing. But what was I going to say? Why did I start talking about her? Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I met someone there. I was talking to someone there. I just met her for the first time today, a friend of a friend. And she was saying, I was saying to her, I don't like texting. And she was like, "Why not?" And I was like, texting, I'm a type of person that I don't like to text because I want, especially if you're someone new in my life, I want you to be able to see me and know and really have a connection to what I'm saying and know my heart and see in my eyes what I'm trying to convey. And sometimes I feel like when you just read the words, you might think there's like you don't know where it's coming from, or the person might be writing it with one tone, and in your mind you're envisioning something different. So okay, that was not stock talk, but I think you guys understand what I'm talking about. You're scared to lose money. So single parent fire, why would you what if you're getting into the option and you're scared to lose money? I understand. I'm not sure if you're really knowledgeable about using a stop loss and all of that. It does not work in the after hours. But if you have a long-term plan in place, and I mean, obviously, I would say, and you're monitoring it, and every day before the market closes or whatever, I'm not sure what expiration date you're going to be going for, but when it gets to the point where you're worried about it, maybe one day before the market closes, you'll sell it and get out of it. and kind of just make all the steps that you can to mitigate your risk as far as losing money, because that's the last thing. I know I was working with someone, and every time I would mention options in front of him, he'd be like, "Oh my God, like Lisa, you can't do that. You'll lose all your money." And I was just like, "You don't understand. Do you not know me? You know me. Why would I do something? Why would I do something that was going to lose me money? That is not my intention." Now, have I lost money doing options? Yes, but I've lost, say, 10% or 15%. And you know why? Because that I put in a stop loss, and there are features in here that will help me to not lose more than what I am allowing for in that particular trade. And obviously, when I get into a trade, I'm getting it into a call with the belief and looking at the charts and that it's going to go up. So when it goes down and I do wind up losing it, selling the contract at a loss, that was never my intention. So obviously I'm trying to make sure to limit my risk. I'm a person that doesn't want to lose any of their hard-earned money. So Joby is forming a double top on the daily time frame. Yes. So single parent fire. I hope you're connecting with someone that, uh, a group, different people that can give you insights on how to navigate whatever platform you're going to be using for trading, and being more knowledgeable about, the expiration date and just all of the elements, time decay, and those things. It's not as easy as you see a contract, you buy it and you hold it, and it's just, there is more thought that has to be put into the whole process. The one, you feel the same about texting? Yeah. It's been a long time now, but I remember that shift when, um, you had someone's phone number, you used to call them, and then it just suddenly shifted to no one called anymore. It was just, send a text, send a text. But actually, my kids and my mom, they pretty much, uh, often just hit FaceTime and just call me that way as opposed to texting. Okay, I'm just looking at the chat. Yes, great. It's nice to see that, trying to retire early. Yes. Well, Tim, it sounds like you're not just trying to retire early. You're putting in the work from what you shared about, your net worth growing up, and just, the moves that you've made over the last few years to turn things around for yourself. Because sometimes I hear people say, "Yeah, oh, it would be nice to retire early," but I'm not hearing them say that they're striving to build up that retirement account, or dividend portfolio, or making the strides that is gonna make that happen. Okay, so I don't even know what today's topic was. It was just general stock talk, but guys, feel free to drop any comments that you have in the chat. If you weren't here earlier, I usually do this show with Prez. He is not here today, but thanks for tuning in. And let me know if you have any questions, comments, video requests. Feel free to drop those in the chat now, or after the replay, on the replay, so that I can see it right away. I don't get to see my live stream comments immediately. I'm going to be trying to do videos more frequently this month. I don't want to officially say that I'm doing a video every day, but I'm trying. And I definitely am doing one short per day for the month of December. that is already locked in. So check out my shorts if you haven't. So I want to retire early too. That's my main focus. I'm investing aggressively to achieve, but only time will tell what happens. From what you share, it seems like you are really on track. I think you have a special needs child also, like Shalice, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I know it's something that I wish that I I had the in my mind. I wish I was around people in my teens and my 20s that actually said things like this, that actually just I wish I had a vision that you don't have to work till you're in your late 60s. Um, I don't think I was just plugging away trying to get through life. I didn't have any plan of how long I was going to have to work. I wasn't thinking about building up investments or buying additional properties. At 20 years old, none of this was on my mind at all. Yes, yes. Yes, I do remember. So single parent fire, she just shared that she has an able investment account. She has a special needs daughter. So that's another element that uh, she shares on her channel, which I think is great because everyone's circumstances are different, and I didn't know about an able account until encountering her channel as well as Mommy Trader's channel. So that's something that you can do if you have a special needs child that you can foresee that potentially is not going to have the regular path of a child that does not have special needs in order to be on track for helping them in the future. So, do I do Tim is asking, do I do I'm tongue twisted. Sorry. Do I do swing trades? Sometimes, not often. I've done more options trading lately. Earlier in the year, it's been many months when I was doing some, Doge and HUD 8, and I did some trades, short term, not super quick, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I did some trades, but I haven't gotten into anything lately. But I am open to it, especially I wish I had more going on over the last few weeks with the way that certain cryptos have been. And that's why I've been putting more focus on making sure that my Coinbase and my Webull Pay are funded and ready if I want to, um, do a short term trade, not anything that I'm going to hold. I'll probably only be holding XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. But, Pepe and all these other smaller coins, those would be things that I would consider for trades. Okay, so Tim is sharing that he's going to be creating a business and selling on eBay in 2025. Okay. All right. The one says, Lisa, do more lives. Lisa's scared of live streams. Sorry if this is a repeat, but can you share what your overall financial goals are? Investment, balance goals, early retirement, do YouTube full time, etc. Um, well, it wasn't really until I would say it's that 2020, it's that pandemic lockdown time that really made me really shift my mindset and want to focus on early retirement, having more real estate, having more streams of income, and being able to just, focus on either just family businesses, my own personal business, or supporting family businesses as opposed to being reliant on corporate America. So, as far as an exact number on what I want to have in retirement before I can officially retire, I'm not like what my fire number is. I've never shared that on the channel. I'm still, working on that. I've had some kind of setbacks recently that is kind of having me to have to reevaluate that. But that would be my ultimate goal, is to be able to retire from corporate America now and then just focus on family businesses. As far as YouTube, YouTube full time. I want to say thank you again for 4,000 subscribers to my channel, but I have a long way to go before YouTube. I consider YouTube an actual stream of income. I hope that kind of answers your question a little bit. Okay, so guys, if you're new here, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I like to keep talking. I'm a person that, like, you will never come well, you guys know this already. If you've ever been here before, you will never come to my channel and it's a silent live stream or just some, I don't even like dead air on my channel. I like my video just to be jam packed, to get you in and out, give the information. And I like the live stream to be the same way. I want to, just give some information, connect with you, answer questions, trying to kind of give you a chance to get to know me and give some different stories. And well, anyways, I'm gonna be wrapping up, but I have one more story for you before I go. So let me first start by saying this. My daughter was cutting my hair while this was going on. So my daughter was cutting my hair. We were sitting in the bathroom, and I was because I'm a weirdo, and she knows I'm a weirdo. So I'm looking at my app, and I'm watching Bitcoin on my phone, and I'm telling her, I think it's gonna hit 100,000 like tonight, like right now, right now. I was like, it's at 99.8, it's at 99.7. And she said to me, Mommy, why don't you screen record this? So I posted a short that same night as it hit because she told me to. And I'm just bringing that up because I touched on this earlier. What were you guys doing when Bitcoin hit at the 100,000? Were you excited? Is everyone in the chat not into crypto as much as I am? Were you not interested, or what? Or did you find out the next day? The bougie family, thanks for tuning in. Okay. I guess there's no excitement. I have to remember this. There's not much excitement with your audience when it comes to crypto, Lisa. So guys, what is your favorite thing that I share on my channel? Is it like just regular stocks like Apple and Amazon, or is it VTI? Is it the total dividend portfolio, or just whatever? Do you have a fave? Have I gotten to that point that I've given you enough content for you to tell me that there is a favorite? You're Tim, you're saying you were waiting for it to crash down. It did come back down to 92, I think, after it hit the 100, but then it came back up again. Um, okay. I like when you talk about what's going on for the day. Okay. Okay. All right. Those are those videos that are obviously time sensitive. Sometimes I'll put out my video a little later than I want because I it just took me that long to record it and edit it and get it out. But I'm like, I have to put this one out today because I said it's Friday in the video. So it's going out today, even though most people might watch it tomorrow. I'm just investing in crypto mostly because a new president is coming in, his support of it. I have XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and SHIB, but very small amount of money in them. Yes, I think I've seen your total crypto portfolio. And I have those 4 in my portfolio. The highest amount being in Bitcoin. I have a few thousand in Bitcoin, which the others, everything else there, I'm all below 1,000 in each of the others. But okay, so I've been on for an hour and 5 minutes all by myself. So thanks for tuning in. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to drop any questions. Check out my channel membership and my referral links for Webull and MooMoo. Those are the platforms that I use on a regular basis, and I enjoy their functionality. And another thing I wanted to touch on that people kind of another kind of criticism that I hear is that certain platforms, certain investment platforms are kind of gamified. And let me tell you, I take my investing seriously. And there might be some fun little elements to investing on Webull or MooMoo as opposed to Fidelity. But I take investing seriously, and we are dealing with real money. And I think it depends on what mindset that you're going into it. And I am much more of an investor than a trader, but I am open to both. And I've talked about both here today. But I think the priority should always be investing. And if you don't want to do any additional investing, if you don't want to have an understanding of managing a portfolio yourself, put together a sound retirement portfolio, and that could be it, end of story. But I do more than that, so I'm sharing my journey here on my channel. All right, so I am about to wrap up, and because I am here by myself today, you guys are going to get the fancy outro. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you tune in again next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, bye.
And to investments, she made a lot on YouTube. Lisa J Stocks. Lisa J Stocks, that's the channel. Hey. If you wanna make some money, visit Lisa J Stocks. Yeah. You will make a lot. If you wanna make some money, visit Lisa J Stocks. Hey. She'll make it pop if you wanna. And to investments, she made a lot on YouTube. Lisa J Stocks. Lisa J Stocks, that's the channel. Hey. If you wanna make some money, visit Lisa J Stocks. Yeah. You will make a lot. If you wanna make some money, visit Lisa J Stocks. Okay. She'll make it pop. If you wanna make some money, visit Lisa J Stocks. Yeah.